Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Y'all, let's do some absolutely out of this world fun Christmas and July crafting. Stay tuned. So after yesterday's awesome two-sided holiday door hangers, why wouldn't you subscribe? Come on. You have to admit that was fabulous. And that's exactly what we do on this channel. We do the fabulous, we do the unusual, we do the useful. So if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, join this online crafting family and take part in some of the most amazing crafting on YouTube, as well as some of the best daily fellowshipping and live chatting on YouTube. So go ahead, subscribe. And guys, here is today's project. It is an awesome 5-sided box, and it is spectacular. It's a rather large box. You can see that you've got plenty of space inside of this box. No matter how you turn it, you have an awesome amount of space. We have a wonderful coordinating lid to go with this box. Super easy to make, and this is what we're going to be making today. This box is meant to last. It is meant to sit out and be a little showpiece. So imagine having this out for your holiday decor, holiday season. Stunning. And this is truly an any season, any reason, any gender project, and we are going to make it today. So to make our project, we're going to need 5 pieces of chipboard, and my chipboard measures 4 by 4. Then you're going to need at least 4 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock, and I am using paper today from the Frank Garcia Christmas in the Country collection. It was his Christmas collection from 2019, but because it's Frank Garcia, his patterns are timeless. So what does that mean? That means that 5 years from now, this paper will withstand the test of time. This pattern will withstand the test of time. And we are going to use it today. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take 2 sheets of my 12 by 12 paper, and I am going to join those 2 sheets together. So this is a directional print, which means that I need to join it so that the print will be running this way. So when I place it down, my print is going to be running in this direction. So I am going to go ahead and place down my 1/2 inch tape. Then I will lift this up. And now I'll take this piece and just match it up. And while I'm matching this up, quite a few of you have asked me to do a box using the mirror, so that you want a mirror inside of a box. And I am going to do that. So I am working on that. Haven't done it yet, but that is coming. So now that we have our piece like this, it is going to be too long for all of it to fit in the scoreboard, but I'll talk you through exactly how we need to score this. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to score this so that we can have it lengthwise, and that is how we'll place our chipboard. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to score this at 4 1/4, at 8 1/2, and then we've run out of room, so we're going to just slide it over, and I'm going to slide this over as far as I can go. So I am going to just take it to the 1 mark, and I'm trying to see my mark. So now that I have it at 1, I know that I'm scoring every 4 1/4, so I've got it at 1. Now I'm going to score this at 5 1/4, and then I'll score at 9 1/2. So now I have 4 of my panels scored, and because I'm out of room again, I need to move this over. So this time I am going to move it over just to the 6-inch mark, and that'll be my final score. So I've moved my last mark over to 6, and now I'm going to score this at 10 1/4. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels scored, and that's what you want. So you're scoring every 4 1/4 inches. That means that you will have to manipulate where your paper falls in your scoring board, because the scoreboards are typically about 12 inches long. So now what we need to do is we're going to turn this on the 12-inch side, and we are going to make a series of scores. So we're going to score at 4, and I'll bring it as far as I can. Then I'm going to flip it, and I'll score at 4 again so that I can meet that original 4. Then I'll score at 8, and I'll bring it down as far as I can, and I'll flip it, and I'll score at 8 again until I meet that original score. So now we need to fold and burnish all of our scores, and originally I was going to make this the inside of my box, but I like it, so I think I'm going to make it the outside. I actually like both sides of this paper, and I use both sides quite often. This time I think I am going to use Santa Claus as the outside. Alright guys, so there is one piece that we're going to trim down, and this is our glue flap. It's smaller than the rest, but I don't want mine to be as wide as it is, so I am just going to trim off a little bit of this. You could actually leave yours as wide as this is right now, but I am just trimming some away. Now what we need to do is we have a long rectangle here and a long rectangle here on both ends of that glue flap, and we need to remove those. So I am just going to take my finger blade, remove one, and then I'll remove the other one. So now we have this, and the thing to remember when you are doing the box portion of this, not the lid, just the box, is that the bottom piece is the piece that should be going in the proper direction. So what I'm saying basically is, because my Santa is standing upright, this is the bottom of this box. So now what I'm going to do is I'll be placing my chipboard inside of my score marks. So you need to make sure that when you put it inside, it doesn't interfere with folding this way, and it doesn't interfere with bringing this up. And I can see that I do need to trim off just a little bit. So I am going to trim away just a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so what I did for my chipboard pieces is I simply removed 1/8 of an inch from one side, so they are now 4 by 3 7/8. And just make sure that you do a good test fit to make sure that this is going to close easily, because that was where my problem was. Okay, so once I have my chipboard trimmed down to where I need for it to be, I am just going to find my score marks, and then I'll take my chipboard and just place it down. So now you can see that my chipboard falls in between the score marks. So I am going to remove all of the tape from my chipboard, and then we'll place the rest of it down. Okay, so when I get ready to place my second piece of chipboard, all I need to do is make sure that I have it lined up with this piece, and that I am placing it down on the opposite end of that score mark, or the opposite side of that score mark. And then I'll just place it down, and I'll keep doing this all the way across. So I need to make sure that I'm using the right side, and you can see that this piece is longer So I need to turn it because they're so close in size, but there is a slight difference. So all I'm doing is placing that down. I am going to take this piece Okay, so once you have all of your chipboard down, we are going to take the top piece and fold it over just like that. But before we do that, I need to place tape all over the chipboard, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, so now that we have our tape down on the board, all I'm going to do is take my board and fold over the top piece. And I'll use my bone folder to get everything nice and stuck. And then I'll just do this to make sure that everything is going to fold and close nicely, and I can see that it is. So now that I have my box folded over, there's my glue flap. I am going to go to each one of these tabs and just free them up, just like that. So just go up to the score mark, not through it, and drag down. So now that we have our box, we're going to put it together just like this. So I am going to take my glue, place my glue on the glue flap, and now I can put my box together. So I am just going to put it on the outside of the bag. It won't be bothering anything back there, and I'm just going to get it stuck down. So now we have it like this. To get our box closed, we simply need to fold in our sides, just like that. And I am going to leave this like this. I'm not going to glue it closed yet because I want to go ahead and make that lid, and then we'll put the lid on here to make sure that everything is going to fit just nicely. So to make the lid, we are going to take a 12 by 12 piece and reduce it to two 6 by 6 inch pieces. And then we're going to take those pieces and join them together just like we did the larger pieces. So I'm using 1/2 inch tape. Sure, you guys probably hear that thunder. And now I'll lift up that tape and I'll take this piece and I am just going to overlap it where that tape is. And this is exactly how we did that first piece. So now we've got two pieces. So basically we have a piece that is 6 by 23.5, and we are going to do our scoring on this piece. So we're going to do this just like we did the other one, but we need to score this every 4 3/8 of an inch. So the first score will be at 4 3/8. The second score will be at 8 3/4. And now we're out of room, so we've got to do the same thing we did before. So let's just move it over to the 5 inch mark. And now to 5 we need to add 4 3/8, so that's going to give us 9 3/8. Let's move it over to 5 again. We need another 4 3/8, so let's go back to 9 3/8 again. Let's slide it over to 5 one more time. And we need 4 3/8 one more time, so we'll go to 9 3/8 for the final score. So we're going to take this and place it in on the 6-inch side, and we're going to score this at 1.5. And then we will flip it to the opposite end and score at 1.5 again until we meet that original score. Then we can score at 3. Go as far as you can. Flip it and score at 3 on the opposite side until you meet that original 3 score. Now we can put our scoreboard away. So just like before, let's go ahead and fold and burnish all of our scores. Alright, so once we have all of our scores folded and burnished, this wide part here is the part that will be on the top of your box. So we need to go back to the glue flap, just like before, and we are going to have this piece here in the corner and this long rectangle in the corner, and we need to remove those. So I am just going to cut these out. And we're going to take out the large rectangle. And so now we have this. This here is the bottom of your box, the part that will overhang right here. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to take our tape, and I am going to go into the second panel here and place down some tape. I don't want that tape to go above the score mark. It doesn't matter if it goes below it here, but I don't want any tape up there. So let me get my tape stuck down. And I'll lift that tape up. And what I'm going to do is I am going to take this narrow piece here and fold it over. And do you guys see where I have just a little bit of cracking there? I am going to take just a little dab of glue, and I am going to run it along that paper and just pat it down, and you can see that my cracking is no more. So that's just a little tip, that if you see some light cracking, just place a little bit of glue down. It'll take care of it. So now that we have this, we're going to go up to the score mark and release those tabs. Don't cut up into this section here. We're just going up to the first score mark, not through it, and we're going to release the tabs. So I am going to trim off just a little bit of my glue flap because I really don't need all of that. But now I can put this together. So I am going to take my glue, place it on the glue flap, and just bring it around and get this joined together. Now I can use my spatula and just go on the inside and work it and get that stuck. So this is our lid. Doesn't look like a lid right now, but it is our lid. So I am going to bring my box back in, going to take my lid, and I'm just going to take the lid and slide it over the box until we get to the score mark where it should stop once we fold in these pieces. So I am going to take my pieces, fold them over, and it's just like we did that bottom. So we're just folding in, but we're doing this just to make sure that the lid is going to fit the box. And as you can see, it is. So now that we know the lid is going to fit, I am going to go ahead and put the box together. So I am just going to open this take a little bit of glue, place it there, and then I'll take some glue, place it right there. I'm going to place a little bit right there, get that stuck. See which one is prettier. Then I'm going to place a little glue on this piece, stick it down, place a little glue on this piece, and stick it down. So now I want to stand this up, because if I need to start tweaking it to fix my shape a little bit, I need to do it before my glue dries. So basically what I'm looking for is something that resembles a house when I turn it on all 5 sides. So does it look even when I turn it on all 5 sides? And I'm pleased with how that looks. So now I'm going to take my lid, put my lid back on, and just fold in the pieces. And now you can see that we have a lid on this box that is absolutely gorgeous. So what we want to do now is we are going to go ahead and glue the lid down. So I'll do it the same way. I'm going to take some glue, put it on that piece, then I'll take some glue, put it on this piece, and bring that in. Now I'll do the same thing here. Just place glue on the inside of both pieces so that when they touch, they'll definitely stick. Then I'm going to place glue on this piece, and then I'll place glue on this piece. And then when I know that my box top is fitting, I can lift this off, and now I can come back on the inside and just work everything down. Clean up some of that excess glue. So when I put my lid on, guys, isn't that a gorgeous box? We are not finished yet because we need to do something to the inside to kind of clean that up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a piece of my Frank Garcia paper, and I am going to trace out my shape. So all I'm doing is using my pen to trace my shape, and it's going to be a rough trace, but it'll be enough for me to know how much of this I need to cut. So now I have this. So what I am going to do is use my scissors, and I am going to go on the inside of this about 1/8 of an inch inside of my trace mark and just trim it out. And all we're doing at this point is just adding a pretty finish to the inside of that lid. So once you have it trimmed out, take your lid, place it down on the inside to see if it fits, and it does. So now that I know that it fits, I am going to take my glue, place glue on this, and so then I'll place it on the inside and we'll get it stuck down. And guys, if you wanted to, you could actually place this on some chipboard and trim it out that way. I'm not, because I don't need that on my lid. So now I'm going to take my lid, place it back on, and boy, am I pleased with how this box looks. So now we have some choices to make. What do we want to do with the top? And it's completely up to you. Whatever it is you choose to do with the top of your box. So guys, I have this really sweet and awesome Joy wood piece that I got from the Dollar Tree, and all I'm going to do is place a little bit of glue on the back of this. I could place some brads through those holes, but I'm not. I'm just going to leave it. I might come back with some flat backs and put those down. But I think that that just finishes off the top of this box so beautifully. And we can also take all types of embellishments if we want and decorate this box even more. I am going to leave it alone for right now, but knowing me, I'll probably go back and do a little something to it. But right now, I like the way that this looks. And wasn't that a very simple process? Because I have all of this paper doubled over in the bottom, I didn't add any chipboard, but if you want to add some chipboard, just use that tracing process that I showed you and trace around it, then cut it out 1/8 of an inch smaller on the inside of your trace, cover it with some paper, place it down, and I have to tell you guys, this box is truly stunning. So I am going to bring the other one back in so that y'all can see just how gorgeous these two boxes are and how easy they are to make. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project, and if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.